Hey y'all, last week Jason Poston and I discussed his early years, his bodybuilding career, and his journey through entrepreneurship. We talked a long time covering a lot. So today's episode, we're picking up where we left off and talking about family, faith, and how to balance it all. As always, we also go through the 5. But for this episode, I've asked Jason for his tips and tricks. Here we go, y'all. We brought in more food. We brought in powdered donuts. How do you feel about a powdered donut? When's the last time you had a powdered donut?
Man, it's been a while. Because if I get a donut, I usually go to the local places. Or maybe Krispy Kreme.
Oh, mm-hmm.
So I haven't had a powdered donut. It's been a while.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably not people's first choice is a powdered donut.
I'm not picky though. I like all junk food. I'm not.
You like all foods. Yeah. So it's crazy to me that we both have kids now and families of our own because we've known each other for so long. Mm-hmm. And our little ones are roughly the same age. I mean, about the same
besties.
age. Yeah.
They're buddies.
I feel like maybe they'll date when they're older. Not like one of them.
It would be funny if they're fighting over press.
They're so cute.
And Jason, your Jason would probably be all about it. You boys battle it out. Let's see a fight.
Battle it out. Do y'all watch Disney movies at your house?
No, not much Disney. Cars is Pixar.
Oh yeah,
it's owned by Disney.
Cars is Pixar.
Disney owns freaking everything. The only big movies that they really got into was Cars, and they got out of that. Oh, lately it's of course Baby Shark.
Yes, Baby Shark.
Pink Fong.
Oh yes.
And Blippi is number 1.
Oh, that's a new one for me.
That dude is genius.
Oh, Blippi. Okay.
I want to know what the heck Blippi's like outside of. You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh my God.
Blippi. I'm going to have to look into this now.
Blippi is the modern day cooler 2021 Mr. Rogers.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. What is this on?
He's a younger dude. He's I think he's genius because I'm listen, this guy probably didn't know what he wanted to do in life. So he's just going to go and act like a 5-year-old, but he's probably 35. And he wears bright colors and he just goes around acting like a goofball. But he is educating the kids.
Okay. I'm going to have to look this up. But I'm sure you've watched Disney movies, right? You've seen a lot of Disney movies. We watched Disney movies growing up. Mm-hmm. What Disney princess would you say you like the least and why? If you had to pick one.
The least princess.
The least. Ooh. The question of the century.
See.
I'll go first if you want me to.
Well, the thing is, I'm a dude. So, I always liked the guy figures. I didn't watch. If I watched the girl stuff, maybe with my little sister, and I didn't.
Well, what guy? What guy was your.
Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. Oh, even though he was a jerk, I was man,
he was the buff guy.
He's big and muscular.
Yeah,
and he's gonna kill the Beast because I don't know. When I was a kid, I kind of thought the Beast was bad, and then in the end, Beast is good.
Oh yeah.
Gaston's bad, but I don't know.
I could see you liking him. Actually, that's funny. You are the modern day.
My college girlfriend called me Gaston. She did. I was so proud of it. I couldn't let her. I was yeah. I'm Gaston.
I'm Gaston. So I know the story about how you met your wife, but a lot of people might not know. So how did you meet Sheena?
It was a really cool moment because I am proud of that. I had went so long without a girlfriend and because I was just focused on, I wanted to get my pro card. which it happened pretty quick. Like I got my pro card in 9 months, and that's not typical.
Dang.
That's not typical. But it was also a new division, and they were accepting more pro cards. But still, I mean, there was like several hundred guys trying to get their pro card, and only like maybe 6 got their pro card.
For sure.
So I just won my pro card, and I went afterwards to a pool party. And I mean, this is sober life. Like I didn't drink. I mean, I was living the bodybuilder lifestyle. There was nothing toxic going through my body. But I went to a pool party to go celebrate. It was Encore Beach Club. And I saw, at the time, I didn't know Sheena, but I saw her brother was there, and I competed. We were the same height. So we competed at nationals a couple times already, and he didn't get his pro card at that time, but he got close. So I saw him at a cabana, and we had a whole bunch of mutual friends. And so I went up, and he introduced me to his mom real quick, Sheena's mother. And I didn't know her, but her mother was gorgeous. Like I thought, for how old was she back then? She was probably like, oh man, maybe 48 or something, 46. And I thought she was just gorgeous for a mother to be, and my mom would never do that. Like she was not social, but her mom was so cool. And then she told me, she goes, you got to meet my daughter. She's like, you're going to marry us someday. And she has this Cajun, like deep Cajun accent. Like they are from the bottom of the bayou. Like there's Louisiana, New Orleans. They're way, like if you look on the map, it looks like they live on the water, because they do. they're bayou people. They're Lafitte people. So her mom introduced us, and it was, it wasn't like love at first sight. I'm not gonna like, oh, is it? But it was definitely like an interest. And I was like, okay. And I hadn't really like had a long-term relationship or had anyone that I was gonna, just spend every single day on the phone with in such a long time. And we exchanged numbers, and that's what we did. We met in Vegas, went out that night too. And I mean, the truth was, and Sheena knows this, and she's cool with me saying it, but like she had another friend, and I thought they were both cute. And I was like, I don't know which friend, but like they're both cute. I love their freaking New Orleans accents. Well, her other friend, who we just saw at a wedding last weekend, I hit it off with Sheena, like social wise. Like we just talk.
Yeah.
We just talk, and we could get on the phone, and hours would go by. So we just hit it off.
I don't know how you understood a word she said at first. When I first met her, I was like, what did she say?
I know.
What? Huh?
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, it is very cute. It's so different. I've never, besides her and her family, ever heard anyone sound like that with that accent.
I know.
I'm like, who are you? Where are you from?
I was just so burnt of Dallas. Like, oh my God, I knew everybody. Everyone knew me. I was like, I need to it would be nice to find someone out of my circle, out of my city.
Definitely.
Because even Austin, like I went to school, I feel like I knew every girl in Austin. So like, that's the way, when you're super social in your 20s, that's the way it is. Like you just feel like you know everyone. And we didn't have social media. I mean, there was Facebook, but it was not that big, So yeah,
that's so cool.
We long distance dated for like 2 years. And
so fast forward to now, you guys have twin boys. They're awesome. When you first found out y'all were pregnant with twins, what was your thought?
It was really special because we had a miscarriage before that. So like just 5 months earlier, I think, she had gotten pregnant and lost the baby. It was going to be a girl, and it was missing some chromosomes. The baby it ended up, she had a miscarriage. We were just devastated. But, and that's what's funny. Like we weren't married, and my grandmother, who's very like a devout Christian, she didn't want to tell me what she said. She was like, if you get married, maybe you'll have God's blessing. And, I grew up believing that too, but also, I mean, obviously you don't need to be married to have but in our case, I was like, I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Like we wanted to get married anyway. We were just kind of like doing everything backwards, and it wasn't a priority for us. So I was like, all right, let's just hurry up and get married. And we did. We went and got married just at the courthouse real quick because we were already pretty much felt like we were married anyway. And, I was still competing, and I still super busy. So we just didn't want to take time to plan a wedding. But when we got married, she ended up getting pregnant like a few weeks later. That's
crazy. Yeah, that's so cool.
But seeing that sonogram when you're like used to seeing one, and then I was like, man, that's a big, I didn't know what to call it. I was like, that's a big sack. Like, I was like,
whoa.
You know, right? And the nurse was like, hold that thought. And she turned it over and she's like, there's 2. I was like, oh, I almost started crying. Like I could have cried, but I held it back.
That's so crazy. I would have been in shock. So now you have your career, you're an entrepreneur, you have a family. How do you balance everything?
I mean, it is difficult. I think like when you hear a lot of these types of podcasts and you hear people act like everything's perfect and everything's going great. And, you know, maybe if you just catch them at the interview at the right time, maybe it is.
Right.
And what's funny, like right now, we're kind of coming out of some chaos. So like right now, things are good. We would have done this a month ago. Oh my gosh, I would have had a lie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, everything's great, Paige. It's just, oh man, it's just going so good. And everything's such in balance. And oh man, you know, but no, that's right now, you know, that's the way life is. Things go up and down and you try to keep it as stable as possible. But when you are a new entrepreneur, just be prepared for a really rocky boat, you know? And I think if you can accept that and still say like, I need to be happy with the fact that some months money is going to come in good. Some months money is not. That's why you need to have stability with your finances. Don't overspend money. Don't think that you're making a ton of money just because you had maybe even a good year. Mm-hmm. You know, you need to put away and live as if you are, you know, living by a lot less means.
Yes.
You know, so like, I mean, just example, say you're making $500,000 a year. That doesn't mean anything as an entrepreneur. And, you know, you need to live on like 100,000, you know, live on 150 because you need to be putting a lot of money into business. And, you know, so that's how you get that balance that you're talking about. Like, how do you keep it? But at the, you know, on a mental note and getting away from the money, just simply, the mindset behind an entrepreneur is just not forgetting your why. You know, a lot of people do say that.
Yes.
And people ask you that when you do what we do, people always, you know, sometimes they will ask you like, why, what is your why? Mm-hmm. And it is kind of always changing, but never forget, because like I started this for passion, didn't start anything for money. I didn't start social media for any fame or money or likes or followers. My why was always just about helping people. And as far as achieving balance, if you can literally just reflect and go to a quiet place where it's peaceful and you can really just gather your thoughts sometimes when you're having a rough day, like just don't forget why you started. Like don't forget why. And that's the same reason why I preach to all these other young dudes and young women out there like, hey, how do I get to where you're at? I'm like, or they tell me like, hey, I want to get my pro card. Like, what do I got to do? I always ask them, well, why? Like, can I ask you why?
I love that.
Yeah, and I have no problem. Like, you know, when we do these expos and stuff, and people are waiting in line, they want to, and they get we get a second to spend with them. I want to leave them with something valuable. Like, hey, don't start stuff for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I love that. And ending with something valuable. I typically end my episodes with the 5, and I usually give 5 pieces of advice or tips or tricks or something to leave everyone with. So this time, because you're the guest, I wanted to give you 5 different topics or, you know, things for you to give someone a tidbit of inspiration or a tip or whatever it is that comes to your mind when I say this word to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Dude, I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's so easy. Okay, motivation.
And then you want me to just give a word? Or
No, give me like a tip for motivation or, you know, something that can help people be more motivated or whatever you feel.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
So, I mean, it really, for me, can change. I get motivated by so many things. So when it comes to motivation, I mean, find motivation in all things that are presented to you in life. Like even negativity, it's just a healthy practice.
I love that.
Because everyone has bad things happen to them. Everyone has tragic, very sad things, some worse than others, but we all have it. But it's like, okay, for instance, we had a miscarriage. We were so excited. We announced to the whole world we were having a baby, and then that baby was gone. Like, how do you find motivation in that? Some people say that, oh, you need to be sad and all that. Yeah, absolutely, we'll mourn. But the motivation was to keep going, all right, and keep trying, and that to have faith and hope that something better was going to happen for us. So it's finding motivation in absolutely everything.
That's so powerful.
It's a good practice. Like, it doesn't mean that, everything, like, you just lost your job, you got evicted from your apartment, your car got repoed, and you got to move in with your friend because you only have $50. Like, you still, like, you can practice this right now. Like, how can I find motivation through this? Well, you better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow. But what I'm saying is, say that same situation happened where you lost everything. If you've been through a lot 5 years previous and you use the same mentality of finding motivation and even the bad things, then when it happens, you'll be equipped. You'll have that tool will be sharp and ready to use. So that's why I know people that come from hard backgrounds, why they do so well in life is because they're constantly having to find positivity and to thrive and to be strong and find motivation even when everything sucks.
That's awesome.
So then what happens when everything's good? Dude, you catch freaking fire.
Yeah.
And you just kill it.
Yeah. I love that. That's awesome. Ooh, that's so good. Okay. The next one I want to talk about is career. So maybe it's finding that career path that's passion filled, that's like your purpose.
Yeah. For other people.
Yeah.
I can only speak from my perspective, but for me, it was just all about we. It wasn't about me. It was all about we. And that's why I chose my career. Because in a way, I could still hustle. I could have the things that I dreamt of, and I could try to get some of these like cool things that I wanted, But at the same time, it was always about we. And I'll be honest, the first time that my career started to tour is because it would just turn into me. That's what's so freaking hard with bodybuilding.
So good. Because
bodybuilding is all about you. It's all about you. And I think that the people who really use bodybuilding as for the best light is they still are like inspiring so many people, and those people are still killing it in bodybuilding. And so for your career, whatever it may be, it has to be about like everyone within your circle, like not just like, if it's all about yourself, you're just destined to fail.
So good. Oh my gosh. Like, I just want to like jump out of this chair and like go tackle the world. Like, okay. Next one is, next one is having a successful marriage or teammate.
So successful marriage. Well, there's a lot you have to endure. So, there's
so many ways you can go with this one too.
Yeah, this is a whole freaking series of podcasts. Like, we do 100 series, and it's always changing. Well, it is. First of all, as a man, you have to understand that, women are just different. They're different. They think different. My wife's polar opposite of me, but the same thing. Like, there's a lot of marriages that are reversed.
Yeah. Like
the woman is actually more of like, I don't know, like a masculine leadership role now. Like this is 2021 is different. But for me, it's understanding our differences. Mm-hmm. And we're still working on that. I'm still trying to understand why she doesn't think like me and why she doesn't understand me. And, men will always say all this stuff like, oh, women are this, women are that. Like, I don't have any set guidelines. It's just me being open-minded to constantly learn how to communicate with her better and calmer and, just try to understand, who my wife is.
Right.
Because it is changing as you grow from dating to early, a newlywed, that honeymoon first year, to thrown into kids and into more kids, and then, and it'll keep changing.
Yep.
So I just keep an open mind to.
I like that what you said though. It's about understanding and learning your other half, because same thing with us is I have to always understand like Jason thinks different than me and does so many. We're so different, So it's understanding that and navigating that. Because we're not the same. We don't think the same. We don't do things the same. And that's okay. But it's understanding that and knowing that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, marriage is cool though. Like for me, it's been, it's been unbelievable. And we really just sprinted right into it. Really. There was no like, I mean, we were engaged for maybe a couple years, year and a half, but it really isn't something that I just, I mean, I do give people advice and stuff. Like I have a lot of followers. I don't even know, know these people, but they ask for advice and they spill their guts on what's going on. And, so it's easier to when someone has a direct problem, to try to help them out. But overall, it's just like, if you truly love someone, you're willing to do anything.
Right.
And that's what you have to remember. Willing to listen, willing to communicate different, and I don't know.
That's spot on. All right. Number 4 is tips on self-care. So tips on getting into the health journey, getting into your health journey, getting into your fitness journey. What tip would you give someone?
Really, there's so much information out there now that I think grabbing on to good information and continuing to have that information on a daily basis is what will get you out of your bad habits. Most people aren't out of shape because all the good things they do, they're out of shape because all the bad things they do. So like, how do you stop those bad habits? You start good ones, you replace them. And so like for me, replacing bad habits, like staying up, I don't know, it's been forever, but like playing video games all night, like I replaced it with going to the gym.
Right.
I replaced it, and it was constructive, and I felt better about myself. And you never ever regret going to exercise.
Yeah.
Like, no one's ever like, oh man, I really regret working out.
There are days that, I mean, especially now with like, I work out more at home than going to a gym, and finding motivation to work out at home, I feel like it's so much harder than going to the gym. I don't know why that is for me personally, but once I literally make myself work out, I feel so much better after I'm done. And I'm like, why did I not want to do this? Why did I not want to do this?
Everyone's the same.
Yeah.
Everyone. I did that yesterday. It was late. I had to work out at like 8 p.m. and my knees were hurting. So I can't do my normal leg workout, but I came up with a whole bunch of different stuff with just bands and dumbbells, and my legs were crazy pumped and sore, and I had a blast doing it.
Yeah.
So like that statement for health and fitness and getting yourself to your pinnacle shape is always just remember, like, less is better than nothing. Like exercise is not that complicated. You don't need to do this crazy stuff. Sometimes you just need to, get out and sweat.
Move your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last but not least is you being a parent. So you being a dad, because you're such a good dad, what is a tip that you feel like to be a good dad?
Oh man. This forming a relationship, forming a bond with your kids early on. For me, it's like a friendship, I mean, obviously I'm the leader of this friendship, but just building a bond that they can come to me for anything. And right now it's just like, come to me to play dinosaurs and come to me to play cars and to build Legos and little toys and stuff. Like it's just being their hero, and remembering that, in their eyes, I'm perfect and I'm not perfect, but just trying to fulfill, what they need from me right now. And it's different. They're only 2.
Yeah.
But still what they need from me right now, I get it. And I try to just be very self-aware. Like when they're 3, I'm going to just like, what do they need from me? 4, and I'll try to, and I think when you're a good parent, it's not really about you. And most parents understand that. It's about them. So if you put yourselves in their shoes, like, what do they need from me right now? And right now it's just a freaking blast. I mean,
yeah,
I love it. I just want to be their best buddy.
Yeah. I know, it's so cool. It's like you never understand it until you have your own kids, It's so cool.
Yeah. And before we quit, under these donuts, I got you a little gift.
This is so exciting.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to give you a gift, but you got me a gift.
And so we're expanding, just letting you know, like we're expanding a lot of the women's products, but
okay. Do you want to tell me what this is?
Yeah, they are, I got you some bracelets. Like one's very, that's our new,
this is your
packaging.
logo?
Yeah.
What is
LA
it called?
Cruise.
LA Cruise.
Yeah. So I'm wearing the chains, like the same stuff you're wearing right now. We'll have that. We'll have
this is such a nice
pennant.
box too.
Thank you. You know how hard boxes were to get during COVID?
What?
Like boxes are impossible to get right now.
This is like, I feel like it's my birthday or something.
Tennis, yeah,
this is so nice.
Bracelet. Here, I'm gonna put it on.
Oh my gosh! What?
Let's see if it fits.
This is so cool. Oh my gosh! This is so nice. This is so nice. This is a diamond tennis bracelet with like a gold chain bracelet.
Oh, we're gonna have so much. Like we just started. We launched last week, and we probably have about 30 products. But
oh my gosh, I don't have anything like this either. That's like nice like this.
Yeah, and so like it's full transparency. Like those aren't real diamonds, but people can get stuff like that, and it is real gold.
This is so nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful, right?
It's beyond beautiful.
Yeah.
So what's the Instagram for this?
LA Cruise _shop.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You're welcome. And here's this one.
I'm so excited.
A big old chain.
I don't know.
This. Like I'm not the best, woman jeweler expert.
This is perfect.
But like I heard kind of like gaudy, big, flashy chains and neck chains. I was gonna give you a chain, but I don't have any
this is perfect.
Chains that'll fit you right now or at my house.
You know what? This is like even more special to me because I got my house broken into when I first moved in here, and literally they stole like all my jewelry. Wow. So this is like probably my second bracelet I have now. Thank you. My gosh. Cool.
You're welcome.
Do I look fancy now?
Blinging.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you guys have? Necklaces, bracelets?
Bracelets, necklaces, rings, pendants.
Wow.
And we're expanding. So we plan to add every month. Like we're going to add more quick. Like we added 2 or 4 today. We added some silver. Dang. Like that's a gold Cuban, 6mm. And we have, we just added the silver bracelet that's in the necklace that matches that too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to be like this, like, hey everyone. I'm going to close out the podcast.
Like I never wore bracelets, but like, now that I realize like how it just, cause I dress simple. Like I'm not always wearing collared shirts. I don't wear a lot of suits, but I wear a lot of t-shirts. And like, I think it just kind of spices up a basic outfit.
This is so nice. Like the quality is so awesome.
Oh yeah. It will not fade. And it's, we have, gold plated and real gold. So, and then soon we'll have real diamonds too.
Well, thank you. Woo! All right, everyone. I just want to thank you. And thank you for my jewelry. But thank you for coming on the podcast, my first podcast. And I'm so excited to have you on the number 1 for the guests.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll come back for like the 100th.
Yeah.
Or the 500th, whatever. No, I will be listening. We got some awesome guests coming up. So,
yeah.
But thanks for having me.
Awesome. All right. Bye, everyone. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed part 2 of Jason Poston and I's interview. Since this was a previously recorded chat, I wanted to jump in and let you know that next week we are talking about how to lose weight without losing your soul. This is one that is near and dear to my heart, and in reality, it should be for everyone. Make sure you tune in next week. But until then, keep on keeping on.
Did you know that we dated for a little bit?
Oh yeah. I wonder if people know that. I bet they don't know that.
We don't have to get into like all the bad stuff that happened. I'm just kidding. There was like, because you probably didn't know, but like.
Does Jason know?
Who?
My Jason.
I don't know.
I don't know if he knows.
Okay, maybe we should. No, because I want to talk about how your phone was going off and you had dudes texting you. Remember, that was it. I want to hear you say, "Yeah, there's dudes texting me." And
are you still holding on to this?
No, it's just content.
It's just content.
I like to put people on the spot.
That is so funny.